connection. I always like to wait just to make sure the connections are working. Of course, we always have issues. We're basically using the cloud, so that connection, I'm not sure it works, and it looks like it's beautiful. So I have that part done. So I'm recording. Everybody sees I record in 2 aspects. And now we'll talk about what we want to do for the next semester. We basically have, today is March 23rd, and basically in 1 month, on April 22nd, we have our second exam, which is in the same location in the PC lab, same idea where it's a 2-part exam. The week right after that, the Monday right after that, can you imagine, is the last day of our class. I can't believe it. That last day of your class, you will be presenting your project. So guess what? Your final project presented is on basically a month from now. So we got to get going, and every group needs to be on top of it. So let's begin here. And Isa will also send out direct messages to people. So I'm going to do a sharing, right? And I'm going to do my full screen share. And I will minimize my Zoom. I will go to my browser. And what do you see, Sienna?
I see your YouTube live stream.
Perfect. Look how you're speaking. I'm honored, right? You see that without me moving out of Zoom, I can live stream. So you'll be doing that as well in your projects. You'll be showing off what you can do. The other part, then you can see, Sienna, you can see my regular Zoom meetings, and I'm going to go to the What's Due section, right, Sienna? And in my What's Due
Yeah.
section, you can see, I always like to see what was due today on the 23rd was your final project part 1 is due. Since your final project part 1 is due, your team formation and your audit instructions, every group today will be pitching to me your final project part 1, your topic selection. Everybody get ready to pitch today. You needed to do the Tech Guide Cloud Computing, right? Your readings, and one of your adaptive assignments are due also today. And your quizzes, where you had 2 opportunities to take that Tech Guide 3 Cloud Computing. We also had additional readings where I've spoken before about where the 2 top vendors, Amazon and Microsoft, Amazon's services are called what, Vivian? Do you remember? If we wanted Amazon's services to do cloud, what were they called? You remember right here, AWS? And what does that stand for? Amazon Web Services. That's the way for cloud computing services that they give to companies in order to use their services, their software, their computing power to use on demand. And Microsoft's, Vivian, version is called what? Microsoft Azure. They're really compatible. Guess what? Google has one too of Google services. Oracle has some. They're all services in which you think about it is renting IT services. You got that, Vivian? Companies, if we were going to start something, Vivian, together, instead of saying, hey, we got to do heavy duty computing, we need to get an IT staff, instead of doing that, or in addition to what we have, we can use these services. And a lot of the companies we're using right now is what do we know? We know Zoom, we know YouTube. They basically are, for instance, somebody like Zoom could have their own servers, or they could go to Amazon. We're going to be using Wix. Wix could be hosting or using someone else's services like Microsoft. we don't even know that as end users, right, Vivian? And usually we don't even care. All we care is that they're giving us good service, right? But that is a possibility. And what you need to know is, what is cloud computing? How are organizations using it? How are they benefiting from it? Which types of cloud computing and cloud services are available? And you can think about those types of questions that I'll be asking you. Will also be on the multiple choice, but guess what? Is as one of the open-ended questions, right? That you can think about it as you as a company, what are the benefits? Okay, that's perfect. Now, what is due? Any questions on what is due today? Sienna, any questions on that?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, perfect. The other part that we know is the second part that you can see here is our next part, which is our audit assignment, which is the final project, part 2. Part 1 is getting a topic area. Part 2 is upgrading with Wix and collaborating. As I said before, I have an academic partnership with Wix that allows us a code where we can upgrade to their business plan. What's the advantage of upgrading to the business plan? We can get our own domain name, we can get more storage space, we can get better technical support. We'll be talking about that today. And then the next readings will be on artificial intelligence. Of course, we're going to be artificial intelligence AI consultants. We really need to have an in-depth knowledge of AI. So that's what we're going to be starting today. So the Wiley reading is going to be important of chapter 14, intelligence, the adaptive reading, the quizzes. And guess what? I'm going to give you additional readings to review, because even though we have the readings, it's important. So one is going to be on ML, which stands for machine learning. We'll differentiate between the difference between machine learning and AI. We'll also be distinguishing between machine learning, data mining, and deep learning. And then we have another article of artificial intelligence, what are the subfields, how AI can be applied to business applications, and what are the challenges. And we have another 2 articles here, which is how does generative AI, we've all heard about generative AI, like ChatGPT or Gemini Pro. We want to know a bit about how does that generative AI work? What are the benefits and limitations of generative AI? What are cases of generative AI? And what are the concerns of generative AI? So we'll be starting with this. The following week, we'll be talking about agents, and we'll be creating our own phone agents, similar to 1-800-CHAT-GPT, but we will be using our own phones. Okay? And we will, in the audit assignment instructions, I'll be going over that soon, but you'll see in the audit assignment instructions what we need in order to use our collaborators. I want us to upgrade one person in the group to upgrade to the business plan. Even though you can use Wix, and let me just go into Wix right here. If I go to wix.com, you can create a website, and you can start for free and get started. And you can start a website. But what I want is, when we look at pricing, there's a free version. The disadvantage of the free version is it advertises Wix and not your company. So you could get all these other versions. What we are going to get in this class, and you can put this in your notes, is one person in the class is going to get the business version. Notice it's $39 a month. I do not want us to pay. Did you understand that? Sienna, I want us to be zero, but we are getting a comp version for $39 a month where we get a free domain name for a year, which is great because guess what then, Maggie? You can use it even after this will be valid for you for a year from now. So you could actually use it for potential employers. You can play around with it. You can still use it. We'll get, instead of 2 gigs of storage space, we'll get 100 gigs of storage space, and that will be allowed for all our videos. We'll do now notice multi-cloud hosting. What does that mean? That they're going to be hosting. We can host then in Wix's cloud. We get a standard marketing suite to help us market. And even if we wanted to have e-commerce, we could even accept certain payments, scheduling. And this is key. We can have 10 site collaborators versus the light version is 2 site collaborators, and starting for free, only 1 person can use it. And we want everybody to do the collaborators. So we're going to be using the business version. And if I go back to our audit section here, you can see that you have a Wix coupon code, and you have the part 2 of upgrading that it says. So our goal is to upgrade Wix using the provided code, and then you will select 1 person in your team who will be the first one to register for Wix. You need to use a credit card, but you will not be charged. And in terms here, that person that initiates will then invite all team members to the project site after upgrading. The upgrading is required in order for you to do collaboration with all your group members. So if you have 3 or 4 group members, it doesn't matter, even 5 group members, you can have up to 10 in our plan. And you want to become competent and showcase AI tools that enhance efficiency in specific sectors, whether it's finance, whether it's healthcare, whether it's in terms of recruiting. You will include for your part for next week the mission statement, service descriptions, the AI generated logo, essential content, and you as a group will divide up the work to make sure that it is equitable. You'll do research, explore multiple AI apps, and you'll share insights and outcome. And this is for that 1 person, this is the code that you will use. This code will then allow you to upgrade to your sites. The code expires on December 31st, but we don't have to worry about it. Ours will be good enough and it will be lasting a year. And near the end of the course, make sure you go to this auto renewal, that it won't automatically renew it. It will stop after that first one. So this is part 1, the upgrade of Wix. And you'll see here, these are the goals. These are basically the ways in which you need, just like we said, you'll go to the wix.com, you'll go to the get started in creating, and you'll sign up then for your account. And you'll log in with 1 person's exceptions. You can then either choose your site, you can manually do it, you can use, they have an AI Harmony, which will try to create it with AI. Then later on, you'll edit it. And when you upgrade, you'll make sure you choose the business plan. You remember I said the business plan, you'll make sure that it says yearly. If you use 2 years, you will not get the free version. You have to have it as yearly, and this will be 1 member in your group is going to use their credit card. You'll just cancel it. You'll remember to have it canceled before the end of the year. And then this is the code you'll use. You'll invite your collaborators, and all of your collaborators, you'll make them as website managers. Once it's created, you'll audit it. You'll have a home page where you have a mission statement, what you do. You'll briefly describe your services. Remember, we saw last time versions of what other students did. You'll do a team page. This is for next week. You'll make sure everybody has a professional picture alongside with the assigned role, alongside of what everyone, their role is. You'll get an AI generated logo. You'll add a contact session, and you'll make sure you publish your site. So then you'll think about social media, and then here's ways in which to do it. You'll see here, this is what your group should look like for that group example. You'll even put in the front here. We're not upgrading yet to a URL or to our phone number. You won't worry about that. But here's an example in this case where you have then the invite site collaborators. Okay. Questions? So Maggie, any questions that you have or other people have? Or people
I
can
don't
raise
have
their
any
hand.
questions right now, and the chat is pretty empty at the moment.
Perfect. But you got the idea, right?
Yes, I get the idea. Yep.
Okay, so it's exactly like, so what I'm going to do then, right, and everyone, any other comments? Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to go to share. I'm going to do my full screen. And now what I want to do, we know where this was in the what's due section, right, where I was dealing with my what's due Monday before class is now I want to go to my audit section. And if I look at my audit section and I go to assignments and I go to group 0, you can even see what this is going to look like at the end. You remember we saw this before. One of our students from last semester did an AI mental health support, and another student did Smart Tutor, and another one did for finance. These are examples of what they did. We're not going to worry about for next week our domain name. We're gonna make sure we get a domain name that's good. We're not going to worry about it. But if I look under group 0, make sure now each group, do you hear this, Sienna? Each group should have a final project and put it on the top of your list. So that way, when we go to each section, we'll see automatically our final project that will be due on our part. And then if I look at the final, you should have another folder called proposals, and you should have 2 proposals. You should have proposal 1 in the format, and then you should have proposal 2 in the next format. You got that, Sienna? Does your group look like that? Sienna?
Yeah, our groups looks like that.
Perfect. So what I want to do then today, I need to sign off on your proposals. I don't want to wait, Sienna.
Something.
Okay, what?
The person in the chat said, how do you move it to the top?
Okay, so how do you move it to the top? Let me go to assignment groups. I can do it a number of ways. Let me just show you right here. Right, I can do a number of ways. One is, you see here, I can move it this way and just move it to the top. Let me see if I can move this away right here. You see, everybody see this? Let me just go. Everybody see this? If you move your cursor, make sure you're on edit on. And if you look at your cursor, you see the keyboard accessible reorder and contents. You see how I have group 1, group 2, group 3? Just like that, if I go into this section of group 0, you see right here my up and down arrow? You see how this is down here? If I wanted to move my final project, I could just move my final project down, or I could move it up, and I just highlight it, whatever I want to do. And if I wanted to move it down, I go down. But now I want to highlight my final project. Everybody see this? And now when I go move up, I just can move it up. Does that answer the question, you think, Maggie?
Yes, completely. I think so.
Okay, you see this up and down, and it's almost, if you didn't know, there's no way to do it. It's like, if you know, it's great. If you don't, you can be looking for it for the rest of your life. There's another way you can do it. It's just by dragging it up like this. But this I find sometimes is the easiest. If final project is at the end, I just reorder like this. And then I have to highlight it, and then I go up or down. Good question. None of us are born with this, right? And every one of these learning management systems has different quirks in it and different ones to know. Okay. So what I want to make sure is, you can see then that this final project of proposals, I should have it for each group here. So if I go to assignment groups, right, I have my group 0. And then if I have Aiden, Roxy, and Ava, right, I should be able to see final project. I see proposal, and then I see 2 proposals. Some of these I saw already last week, right? I see wealth management, and then the other one is, in this case, proposal 2 is Style Sync AI. And did you get this name from someone? It looked like that was familiar, the Style Sync AI. Was that familiar? Anyways, there's 2 of them. So this is what I'm going to do today. Everybody get prepared. I know that when I looked at it, there were 3 people in this group. I need one person, or I need the group then to pitch to me and to Isa what proposals you want to do. So pitch to me both proposals, and then pitch what you like better and why. Everybody understand? Pitch both proposals, introduce everybody in your group, both proposals, and which you like better, or any questions that you have. And then after each pitch, I want everybody to listen to everybody's pitch to be able, in this case, to give feedback. One of the things you will be doing is you're going to be doing peer review. So you're going to be able to do it. And then it may be that some people will be doing the same sector, and you can be helping each group then, and you can say, hey, we'll maybe even follow each other, or maybe we'll send links to each other's businesses, because we'll all be unique in doing that. Okay, so let's start with group 1. So who wants to start?
I can.
Okay, so let's
All right.
start.
So Fin Fusion, basically the idea is, so my dad's in private wealth management. I talked with him.
Okay.
Right now he spends about 2 hours before every client meeting, pulling all the necessary data, balance sheets, income statements, tax returns, all that stuff. And, kind of figuring out what he needs to talk about for, the next meeting with each client. And he has over 70 clients, so that can be taxing. And so we're going to try and
Not
develop an
only
AI that can,
taxing, let me just interrupt, not in taxing, but a lot of time spent on busy work, right?
yeah, stuff that, you
Prepare,
could be
but
doing
he
something a
needs
lot
to know
better.
his clients well in order to give them value. Okay.
Yeah. So the goal is to create an AI that can kind of centralize all those different documents from different websites and apps into one database that uses AI to summarize what could be used in the next meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And, instead of spending those 2 hours per client going through and pulling out all additional stuff, it does most of it for you.
Okay. And does he use AI? Did you ask him if he uses any AI tools now?
Yeah, he has Microsoft 365 Copilot integrated into all of his stuff.
Okay. And what's the second one?
Roxy, do you want to do the second one?
Yeah, sure. So let me pull it up real quick. We basically were just talking about helping like small businesses. We're kind of more focused on using proposal one though. So proposal two is more just like small business, in this case, like retail, like clothing stores and everything, like being able to organize better, like especially when like customers come in, like finding like different like inventories. And then also one of our focuses was like marketing. So like when a client like or when someone like comes in and signs up for like rewards or something, they'll get like automatic like messages or like following like all the social medias and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And which one did your group decide you wanted to spend time with?
Proposal one.
Okay. One
Mhm.
thing I like about proposal one, Aiden, is you have kind of your dad kind of being like also an advisor, possibly. The other thing, what I think you can do, or these are top, is you could even expand that to where your as an extra one is you could even use Zoom and even a channel to get closer to your customers. And then you could even use something like ChatGPT or a Gemini. Does your father use any social media? Aiden.
Yeah, for his company, they use X, and I believe they have a Facebook account, but I don't know how
Okay,
much
but
that's used.
anyways, you guys would then use at least three social media and do it. So I approve. You can put this in if you can be so kind. Isa is put in proposal one that it's approved by Dr. Rush for us for group one. And then what I would start thinking about is already start doing your website and then put in your team and put in your mission. And you can use AI, and then you can even use AI, any type of generative AI, to make it clear what you're actually who you're going to help and what types of tools you can help them. And what I see is doing almost the idea, and this could be for others, you're so bogged down in busy work that we want to streamline that and summarize it that you can be your best to your client. You can serve your client best. Perfect. Okay, great. So everybody understand that? So if you can be so kind, for group one, if you can put that they want part one accepted. So
Yeah, I put it in.
so if I go back to group two, I have Luke, Alejandro, Andrew, and Ian. And then if I go to final project and proposals, I see one is Mind Mesh AI, managing stress, anxiety, and proposal two is Tutor Gen AI. So who wants to present these two? And what is your group's favored?
I guess I can talk about Mind Mesh.
Okay.
So we know that a lot of college students are facing mental health problems like stress and anxiety, especially in the environment like UM, where there's a lot of academic pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So we were thinking of uh talking about like an AI that's not replacing a therapist, but like to work with a therapist.
Okay.
And it's how to like it can tell students how to like structure AI to help them be healthier and for better mental health, such as like how to like journal and how to manage your time better and self-care and stuff like that.
Okay. And what's the second one? Tutor Gen AI.
I can talk about proposal two.
Okay.
So on proposal two, we're talking about having an AI to help students in tutoring and learn how to use AI for tools in studying. So, I mean, in class, we've learned a lot about different tools. I know a lot of people use Quizlet, and we learned about Notebook LM, and
Right.
people use ChatGPT to make like study guides and stuff like that.
Right.
But obviously, like all these AI sources,
Mhm.
they fall short in some categories. So, like our idea would be to, as this consulting company, to tell students best how to use each platform and each resource to help them study. Like Quizlet is super effective for flashcards. Notebook LM is super effective with like
Okay.
the podcasts and stuff like that.
Okay, and
we teach them
which do you
through it
favor?
anyway.
What does your group favor? Which proposal, 1 or 2?
The first.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, so I approve the first one. What I would do in the first one also is I would check, maybe also go to the counseling center and check with them on what are their, if they're proposing to use any AI tools. And then also, besides ChatGPT and Gemini, it is to look at other ones that are specialized. There's one called Nash that are specialized. Look for free versions that you can try out. And then what I would do in your videos, not only how to use them, but what would be interesting is to think about it as role playing. You wouldn't have to do it yourself and saying, these are my problems, but you would even say it out loud. You could even do it as a group, as maybe even our way is to think about it, not even individually, as you could provide groups using AI with a therapist. So one person could even role play as overviewing with a therapist, and others would be saying, these are areas in which I have stress, and then communicate. And then what would be interesting is give them guidelines. A lot of these bots basically are gearing towards, ask them to give you examples. Rather, let's say maybe breathing exercises together or other types of exercises together. So give them the tips and tricks of how to work with an AI, because sometimes AI will automatically say, you should go and see a counselor. So how do you work with it and role play with it? So Isa, if you can be so kind and tell them that the proposal 1, you can put in there that I've approved it. Okay. So I got group 1 and 2. Group 3 is Vivian, Sawyer, Maggie, and Lev. And then I have final project, which is done. I have proposals. And what happened with proposal 2?
Well, I don't think I was uploading it first, but I just reloaded it on my screen and I see it now.
Okay, I don't. Okay. All right. So who wants to do the 2, and let's go quickly through these?
I can do the first one.
Okay.
Basically we were just trying to focus on career for students specifically, because nowadays like things are getting really competitive and it's kind of hard to make yourself stand out. Even though the school does like provide you with resources, it's kind of hard for them to become very familiar with you and like have an individualized experience, just because like
Okay.
there's so many kids trying to do the same thing. So we kind of want to create a program that is very like individualized to help students like figure out how to apply, where to apply, like what materials to use, and really just have like a personalized experience so they can do the best they can in the job search.
Okay. So what I would do is our service targets students and early career individuals, maybe even what type of students, what year. I would even maybe just do, rather than early career individuals, I'd just stick with students, and maybe, I don't know if you want freshman, sophomore, do you want it for internships? Do you want it for their first job? What are you looking for? I would decide on that. And also maybe what I would put in here is that you could even do some seminars using Zoom, and maybe even YouTube, and inviting guest speakers that are recruiters. Do you understand? And then based on that, then they could tell you what skills they were looking for, and maybe you can help them beef up those skills. And then the same thing on the chat GPTs and the other Teal AI for LinkedIn, job tracker, resume, and things like that. If you would look at, is you could also do role playing on that as well for the interview. Are you doing also for interview question? You could also even do possibly of interviews as well. Okay, and what's
Yeah,
the
that's a
second
good
one?
idea.
And then the second one was WealthWise AI. I looked at that. So what do you prefer for your group? Proposal 1 or 2?
I think our group is more familiar with proposal ones.
Okay, so Isa, if you can be so kind and say, I approve both, but I think proposal 1, and then do more interactive with outside events, basically maybe even with recruiters, maybe even with the recruiting office here at the university start, and then maybe inviting specialty, and you may even get it more specialized of targeting for business students. You're all business majors in the business school, then I would target it for there. And then maybe for internships or targeted, say in the beginning, we'll do for internships or final, rather than spread ourselves so wide right away in the early career. Because nobody's early career here, we're all students. Okay, and if you could put that in, be so gracious, Isa, and give my approval. Okay. So group 4 of Cameron, Camelia, and then Declan and Maria. Group 4, final project, and I have 2 proposals. Opulent AI, one's wealth manager, and what are they both financial? I think, and Acu AI. So who's going to do it?
Can do the first one.
Okay. So announce your
Um,
name. Who's doing it?
Cameron.
Okay,
So
Cameron.
with Opulent AI, we all came to we all agreed to do wealth management, and with this, we just wanted to remove some of the administrative work that can go into wealth management with dealing with high net worth clients. So with this will streamline operations and enhance communication, and then strengthen risk modeling as well. And the tools we use in ChatGPT, Claude, and
Okay.
Copilot, and it'll be give polished emails, so have more communication with the clients and long-term financial planning, and also like more insights
Okay.
into the client.
So let me ask you, why is it medium to large? What about small wealth management firms? Why is that not good?
That's not good. I just think it would reduce, like we would just want to reduce more of the administrative stress that medium to
Yeah.
large management firms
I
have.
would change it to small wealth management firms, because in the larger or medium ones, they have more help. And they have
Okay.
firms that will provide them people that will help them with AI, and also they have the resources to buy more. So I would change it to small. And what's the difference between proposal 2? What's the difference in proposal 2? It's more accounting,
Yeah,
accounts payable. So which one do you guys prefer?
proposal
Which one or 2?
one.
1. Okay, I do too, because not everybody knows accounting in your group. Okay, so I do proposal 1 and do the same idea of managing that high net worth process. It's similar to what we were talking about in group 1, and get that first process done. So Isa, proposal 1 for this group. Thanks. So that is group 4. Group 5 is Travis, Justin, Ava, and Nika. So who's going to do that under proposals? I got 1 is job seeking, and 2 is real estate.
I can do proposal 1.
Okay, which is
it's job seeking for students to show students like how to use AI for resume building, interview practice, and personal branding.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What are you
so
using for personal branding?
what's that? Sorry.
What are you using for personal branding?
Like which AI?
Yeah. What are you going to do for
Uh,
what is personal branding? So what are you going to do for me? I'm a
oh,
student and I'm going to what is my personal brand? How are you going to help me with my personal brand?
like LinkedIn profiling, making sure that you kind of stand out.
Okay. And
'Cause,
what's your second? So I would take out for what's your and then the other one was realty. Which one do you prefer?
I
Your group.
think we decided on the job seeking.
Okay, so job seeking, I would take out high school, change that now. I take it out of high school. We want to get it narrowed. College student, I would even do college, so I would do business students. And I would just focus on that right now. Maybe the recent graduate seeking internships or full-time employment. But I
Okay,
definitely take out high school.
got it. Okay, thank you.
Right? Because what are you going to do with high school? Right? You're past that, right? So you want to get, and in terms of this, you may also want to think about also the same thing that I said to other companies. So if you change that, and then what you could even do, and some of it is I would even do some role playing using some of these tools and actually role playing it as
Got it.
well. And
Thank you.
possibly, as I said to others, of doing webinars on inviting people, inviting recruiters, inviting the university, check on them on what to do. Okay. So you see it seems like everybody's kind of on that same track. And then you have to decide today, right? Every group, who's going to start that Wix and provide it so everything is set. So group 6, I'm in, final project, proposals, and one is marketing, and the other one, I guess, is it says streamline social consulting. So who's going to tell me who's going to present?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
So for proposal one, it's
Who's
a,
speaking?
oh, this is Hunter.
Hmm.
Proposal one, it's a consulting company that helps small local businesses like family restaurants or salons compete with bigger chains by handling their digital marketing using AI tools so that they don't need a dedicated marketing team. We'll use platforms like ChatGPT for their social media and email content created. And then use Canva AI for professional graphics and branding designs, and
Okay.
then Google Gemini for market research and competitor analysis.
Okay. And what's proposal 2?
Proposal two is a consulting company that helps small e-commerce brands and side hustle creators automate their marketing so they can do more with less with no large team required. So they have like product descriptions and email copy
So
generated.
more like marketing. This is marketing. They're both marketing. So how do they differ?
One works with like local, like small businesses, and the other is more like e-commerce brands.
Okay. So which ones did you guys decide on?
I think we're gonna do two.
Okay. Why?
I think we just like that idea more. I mean, they're kind of similar,
Like,
but
so give me an example of who you would go after.
like what type of brands?
Yeah. Like who? What
Like
is
any
it
sort
that,
of like mom and pop shop, I'd say.
but aren't these mom and pop? So this seems similar. I just don't understand the differences. I
Yeah, I
see
think they're pretty.
here it says small scale entrepreneurs and side hustle creators. A side hustle creator doesn't sound like a family owned restaurant.
And which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at number 3, target use case. For proposal 2, it says side hustle creators, and proposal 1,
I meant to say proposal one. We're gonna do proposal one.
now you're doing proposal 1.
Well, I went back to our group chat to see what we said. I thought it was two, but I went back and checked, and it was one
Okay,
actually.
they're both good. So I'll put on the sense they're both good. I'll approve both. You decide, but you got to kind of narrow it. on
For
both.
sure.
Okay, because it seems like now it's like not clear. They're both good, but you got to kind of narrow. And what are we going to do for you? And think about that business. What do they need? Like, who is for a side hustle creator? Is anybody in your group a side hustler? You
I'm
got
not
to
sure.
or anybody want to be a side hustler? So that's the only thing I see. So I'm approving both, but you got to work it out. You may even want to stay with me in a minute or two. You know what I mean, to do it, but I approve both. But you have to
Got
further define it, Hunter, okay?
it.
Okay. And then the next one is group 7. So final project of group 7 proposals. I got Study Sparks, AI tutoring, and what's the other one? Notice, take out high school. Anybody putting high school in any of the things I won't accept. Do college and especially business. And what's the second one is internship prep. So who's going to talk about this?
I can.
Okay.
So we just made like a tutoring company that you can use AI tools to help enhance your performance. Like throughout, we've been doing this through class, like how we learned on Notebook LM, like using different tools to use different resources. So you could use like Khan Academy to do watch videos and lectures, and then ChatGPT and Copilot to help like organize a study guide, do practice tests. And yeah, that's that.
Okay, and what's number 2?
I can explain proposal too.
Yeah.
So it's basically just like a AI company that can help with internship prep. The name could use work, but basically it helps students like prep for internships or like interviews as well as find internships. Because I knew that was pretty stressful for me. So like, using ChatGPT for like resumes and cover letters, and then like LinkedIn AI tools could help like make their profiles better and help the networking.
Okay.
And then like Excel could, or like there's Excel AI, which could also help like keep everything organized.
Okay. So I like proposal 2 better than 1 because I think it'd be more
Yeah,
useful.
we chose proposal 2.
It's funny. Okay, so we
Yeah,
both agreed on that. Okay.
correct.
So put Isa, if you can be so kind and put them as agreeing. And in this case, it's the same kind of thing that I would be basically really focus on internships and having problem. And then I would also, Zach, just like I told the other students, is reaching out to other of those places that you would want to get internships with, inviting them as guest speakers to your webinars. And then you could have other students come in, and you could have those that are like, you could even make them in 2 stages, right? Like the very best that you wanted to, that later on they could even charge later on even a fee or something, or you could get sponsors. You could get a lot of these companies to sponsor your webinar nights.
Right.
And then you could even then, if there were so many people then going to it, you could also have your YouTube channel as additional on the same time, be part of it as well. For other of the overflow, go to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
and then it would be neat that you could, and then you could get first dibs, Zach. Right?
No, I
Those that
want.
were really great, that you stand out, that you're already taking the initiative to do this. Okay?
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I like that better as well. So I like things that you can actually use, right, Zach? And even after you're finished, then you could even switch it to maybe after you do the internships, we can help you get a job. You know what I mean? So you could switch the company and expand it. We're starting first with internships, and we may go on. And then once you do, you're early in the start, you may even switch the company to early starters, right? You get your first job, and then you'll do more. Or then you'll be the recruiter, Zach, for
Yeah,
somebody.
we can do both.
Okay, but first start off small. Okay, group A. So group 8, Dominique, Luca, Dax, and Jessica. So group 8, final project, proposals, and then I got 2. One service idea, hood fire, and the other one is service consulting, fit flow. So who's going to start?
I'll do proposal 1.
Okay, Dominique.
So our first proposal was to have students like at the University of Miami or other college campuses use these AI tools like Perplexity AI, Resi AI, and ChatGPT to help them make resumes to like perfectly fit a job in their local area. That's why our neighbor is supposed to be like neighborhood for hire. So it's just like local jobs that need to be done and only like need a college level experience.
Okay, and it'll be like task oriented, that I just have a task that I need a college student to do, or it's going to be a job.
No, we're looking more at like a job.
Okay, so it's not going to be a task that I need somebody for 4 weeks to do something. Okay, and what's proposal 2?
Proposal
I could.
2,
Okay, you want to do? Whoever wants it.
Do you want to do it or?
you can do it.
Okay, so proposal 2 is FitFlow AI. So we're gonna try and connect people with their bodies more. A lot of people have a lot of fitness goals and health goals, and they
Yes.
think they know how to achieve them, but they really don't. Like a lot of people take supplements, but they don't really know what they're actually taking. So our solution is to basically be a fitness consulting firm.
And is this your idea, Luca?
Yeah, this was our proposal. This was our proposal too.
But it came from your idea?
Uh,
And
our
no?
group made this.
Yeah, the group made it. Okay.
Yeah.
And what did your group like better?
We like proposal 1 better.
Me too. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you can do it. And there's so many different ones on that. Yeah, I like proposal 1 too. And I would do this. Yeah, I like proposal 1 better. Okay. So Isa, if you can be so kind and do that one. Okay, and then group 9, Ivana, Jolie, Ryan, and Tyler. So who want in proposals? So what do I got here? I have Pro, Pintel, Consulting, Property Management, and number 2 is AI Consulting Real Estate. So who wants to do that one for group 9?
I can do proposal 1.
Okay, which is what?
Yeah, so PropIntel AI would be an AI tool that helps property management firms or investors in real estate to have a more clear and detailed idea of the ROI of their possible investment in property.
Okay, and what's proposal 2?
I can do proposal 2. It's basically just a consulting service for real estate that automates like interaction between buyers and sellers and uses AI to automate messages.
Okay, so they're both real estate. And do you have real estate, and any of you real estate majors or know something about real estate in your group? Ryan?
I'm in like a real estate club. I'm not a
You
major.
really, are you the only one in real estate in your group?
I've done real estate internships before.
Okay, great. So what do you prefer, proposal 1 or 2?
I think we prefer proposal 1.
Okay, all right, I agree. Okay, so basically it can be good. What I would do first, Ivana, and do it, is review what is the closest to these. And part of your way is even looking at what they're doing and what tools they have. And you basically can even have links to some of these other sites and some of these other tools as well.
Okay.
Okay, and then are we at the last but least, right, is group 10. Final project, final proposals, where we have 2, Edu AI Gent and Career AI Gent. So who wants to present that for my last group? Group 10?
Yeah, I'm doing it. So
Okay.
our first proposal is like for students to like get a job and like, or no, sorry, our first proposal is for students to help them with academic performance
And study.
and yeah, so it'd be like a free like AI tutor, so like you'd be able to ask it like questions and things like that, like quizzes, flashcards, things like that.
Okay, what's group 2? What's proposal 2?
Our second one is to like help college students prepare for like an internship or job. So it'd be like one-on-one like career counseling.
Mm-hmm. And how are you going to be different than the career counselor? Or how are you going to add to it?
It would
Who's
be
going
like
to do the one-on-one?
like an
People or an
AI.
AI? AI will do
An
that.
AI.
And what are
Yeah.
you going to teach them? Is how to use these?
Yeah, like it could be able to like resume like
Okay.
things and be able to cater it for like certain jobs.
Okay.
Or like
And,
it could help you like make a cover letter for like a certain company.
okay. And so, Sienna, which one do you prefer?
I think our group preferred the second one.
Okay. I approve it. Okay. And
Okay.
it needs to be more meaty, right? But it's just not
Yeah.
ChatGPT. And I think it'll be interesting. Like I told the other groups, it may even be easy that you could do webinars too, and inviting the career center, giving tips and tricks. You can invite a number of people and also companies, right? That you can do it, and you can be able to be not a replacement, but also check with career centers and others. Where do they think where the downfalls, what are they having issues, and they can even give talks to your session and add to it. And you can maybe even have them as advisors to your group, and also companies to sponsor them. Okay. So we'll do proposal 2. So Isa, if you can be so kind and to approve it. So what I would do is make sure you look at is you have from group 0, you have a number of websites of what prior students did. You want to make sure that you have by next Monday, you already have their URL. Okay? So we'll do attendance. And we'll, Isa, any other questions? So my moderators, anything in the chat that we need to know about? Isa, any comments? So even now, make sure you decide then who is going to be the person that signs up. You should even decide that now among your group. And then she put in, what was the code? 5449. Is that correct, Isa?
Yes.
5449. Stay with me if you have additional questions. And do you see now how we'll work, Roxy, every week? Every week when we do it, then people will make sure next week that you will be ready, you're published, that you can show your URL, that you can share with the group what you've done. So we can get feedback each time. We can improve each time. So at the last one, Roxy, right? When you present on the 27th, I'll just be saying, show me something that I haven't seen before and give you feedback on it. Any other questions? Stay with me if you want to discuss anything. Otherwise, we will see each other in a couple of days, go through the material on AI, get us up to date to figure out what are we going to really, that we can speak intelligently on the topic, and looking forward to see you. And thank you, Santa and Maggie, for all your help.
For the quiz due this class, I finished it before class because but it technically locked at 3:30, but I think I finished at like
Did it lock
3:30.
it? It's ready?
You're fine.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. Maggie, do you have anything?